Welcome to the WP2 Collaborative Writing Project by Mrs. Henderson's Leadership Classes.
Hi, my name is Deontay McKelvin. I am a reporter interviewing Mr. Nelson Mandela, a former African American president. Hi, Nelson. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Today I will be asking you questions about yourself. Why did you marry Winnie?
Winnie was successful and I was too, so that we both had the same goals in life. So I didn't want to be any more friend, so I asked her for a hand in marriage, and look where we are now.
Okay, good. How was your life growing up?
I was born to royalty, so I could experience more things that others can. So I feel like I was thankful to that. That's all my life was. I was thankful.
Okay. After getting out of jail, what was your thoughts about life?
I feel like it was just the beginning. It wasn't going to put a pause on my life. I feel like it made me even more successful by being in a holding cell. So now I'm actually out. I can actually show people who I really was.
Okay. What was your occupation?
A human rights activist.
Okay, good. After being and wanting to be a human rights activist, how was school back then when you were doing it?
I lived in Africa, so I felt it was kind of hard, but I overcame the fears I had, and I wanted to be successful, and I wanted to feel like nothing stopped me from becoming the goal I had in the dream.
Mm-hmm. What colleges did you attend?
I attended Horton and Carter.
What did you go to college to study?
I went to Fort Hays and I went to get my Bachelor of Arts, but I had to leave because I got expelled for doing student projects.
Did you need help from any of your family members or friends to kick you off and help you out?
No, I feel like I actually depend on myself. I feel like I was independent. I didn't want help from anyone. I feel like I can do anything I want on my own.
What were your fears and worst experiences?
Before getting to marriage with Whitney, I was married to somebody else, and we had a child, and he died. That was the worst experience I ever had. It was devastating for my life.
Okay, Mr. Nelson Mandela, I am so sorry to hear that, but I see you have a very interesting story behind you. But that will be all today. Thank you and have a good day.
You too.
Ferguson. Today I'm going to be interviewing Ramek Hunt from the book The Pack. Hello Ramek, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. So tell me what your childhood was like.
I had a rough childhood growing up. Every time me and my mom would get evicted, we would end up running back and forth from my grandmother's house. I chose the wrong path in life. The friends that I did have led me in the wrong direction. We would sell drugs, drink outside of the school. I had good grades until I met the friends that I did have. I was in a situation once upon a life at the age of 16 where we were outside at the back of my school and an old man approached us wanting a deal, as in a drug deal. So my friend, took him up the street and gave him whatever he asked for, but he ended up coming back to smoke it at the school, which we didn't like it. So as a group, we ended up approaching the old man, and my friends and I felt that it was only right to handle the situation very unappropriately. Like, we ended up basically beating him until he couldn't walk or get back up. And young as I was, I felt that I had to do extra. So I had a pocket knife from my uncle's shop, and I ended up pulling it out. I didn't want to hurt the man with the knife, but I just wanted to show it off. And friends that I had back then wanted to see me do something with it. And I couldn't really say no because then I looked like a punk. So I ended up basically stabbing the man. It was just one time, it wasn't like a numerous thing. So I stabbed him one time, and I was like, I'm done. And we ended up walking away, going back to the corner store. As we were walking back, the old man was surrounded by policemen. We were thinking to ourselves, we didn't think it was as bad. Like, we didn't think we did that much to him, but apparently we did. He didn't die, but he was in critical condition, and it ended up getting a lot worse. We ended up going to court, but the many times we did go to court, he never showed up. So they ended up just dropping the charges. We got on house arrest, ended up getting off. That was that part. My childhood, it just wasn't good.
So how did you meet these friends?
I went to school with, I grew up with half of them, but after all that happened, I ended up meeting some friends of mine named Sam and George in my senior year at University Hall. We ended up meeting each other. We automatically clicked right together. We had a lot of things in common. Like, we all wanted to be doctors, like, work at hospitals and all that type of stuff.
So what you doing now?
I am the assistant professor at Robert Woods Johnson School.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
What was your childhood like?
I had a good childhood until my father died, but God returned for the better after moving and attending a nice school.
What college did you attend?
I attended South African Native College.
Where were you born?
I was born in a tiny village in South Africa.
What made you decide that you had enough with racism and made you want to take a stand?
It started as a child when my father stood against something he felt was right. After his death, I realized I wanted equal rights for all blacks in South Africa. This is how the journey began.
What did you fear the most throughout your entire fight?
I had a fear of going to jail and being away from our children and not being able to watch them grow up.
I see you were in prison for 27 years. What were your plans when you found out you were getting released?
My plans were to first see my family, then see what my organization, the ANC, did in my absence.
What was the hardest part of fighting for segregation?
The hardest part of fighting for segregation was getting everyone on my side and them to listen.
When you accomplished your plans next?
My next plans was retire and to enjoy life.
Why did you marry another woman?
The reason I remarried because when I was released from prison after 27 years, Winnie and our relationship was rocky. And after 4 months of being on trial for kidnapping, that was our marriage hit a breaking point.
That was a good interview. That sums our show up today.
My name is Ajane, and I'm here recording Anne Frank on her life story. What is your name?
Anne Frank.
What was the most frightening moment for you?
Being captured by the Nazis and being separated from my family.
What was the absolute hardest thing for you to adjust to?
The hardest thing that I had to adjust to was like growing up as a young lady because I didn't know like the real world, so I had to just live how I was living.
Was it uncomfortable for you sleeping in the room with the old man?
At first it was, but then I realized I had to do what I had to do in order to keep my family safe.
Did your relationship with Peter help you cope?
Yeah, it helped me a lot because he was around my age and like we had things in common. So I could really just come to him and talk to him about different things so he would understand because he was a kid like me.
Was it hard for you to put out your heart, fears, hopes, and dreams into your diary every day?
It wasn't hard for me. It just relieved a lot of stress off me because it's like when I write things down, it helped me, to cope with like what I was going through in a different way.
Did you ever feel like you were going to go crazy?
At some point in time I did because we was just all bunched up together. It was my family and also somebody else's family. So I had to just deal with it.
Food. Talk about how they handle food.
And another thing, like, we had to just deal with, like, different kind of things. Like, we didn't have enough food. We had to get little by little, and then we had to save some for other people. Then we had to save some for the next day so we could survive, basically.
Did you miss going to school?
I miss going to school because it's like I myself, I had to sit in the house just every day, and I didn't like that because I wasn't used to doing it. So I miss my friends and just being around different people.
Did you feel like you were being punished for something you had done?
No, not really, because I just knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do, and it was somebody else's choice to do what they wanted to do with us.
Did you ever feel like you wished y'all would get caught so it would just all be over?
No, because I didn't want to get separated from our family, and then we never knew what was going to happen, and I didn't want to leave my family then knowing somebody died or anything like that. I just wished it all was over.
Were you lonely even though you were in an attic full of people?
I had my days, like, I was depressed, but I wasn't lonely. I just wanted to get away sometime. Like, I wanted to go downstairs even though I couldn't. I just wanted to be a kid.
How has this experience changed you as a person?
It helped me view different ways in life. It made me a stronger person than what I was, and it showed me to cherish life for more than it is.
Signing off with Anne Frank.